Welcome to the Armchair Adventures Travel Agency, Journeys of the Imagination. I'm head travel agent and host, Connie.
On an armchair adventure, you can go anywhere you like. On an armchair adventure, imaginations fly.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you're listening from, adventurers. The voices of today's adventurers are...
Owen, Olivia,
Logan,
Poppy, Arlo, Abigail,
Leighton,
another one.
Hi everyone! Hi! You too can star in an episode of Armchair Adventures as one of our special guest adventurers. All you need to do is ask your grown-up if you can join the Armchair Adventures fan club on Patreon. Simply head to patreon.com and search Armchair Adventures for more info. On this week's episode, we're going on an adventure with, drumroll please, it's Jan.
Hello, Connie. I'm so excited for my adventure.
Oh good, I'm glad.
I've been racking my brain about where we could go. There are just so many adventures to be had. Do I want something relaxing or something adrenaline-fueled?
Wherever you fancy.
Connie, is everything okay? You seem a bit downbeat.
I'm sorry, Jan. I am excited for your adventure, I really am. But the thing is, I'm feeling a bit down in the dumps.
I'm sorry to hear that. What's wrong?
All the kids in my French class are heading on a school trip to Paris. Real, actual Paris.
And you couldn't go?
I'd already signed up to a special choir concert. We're singing in a massive concert hall in London.
That sounds exciting.
Oh, it is, and I'm really looking forward to it. We've been practicing really hard, and I know it'll be lots of fun, but I didn't realise the dates would clash.
You can't do it all, Connie.
No, I know, but Paris. It's my dream to go to Paris.
It's a long old life, Connie. I'm sure you'll get there one day, one way or another.
You think so?
It took me almost all my life to get to my dream destination.
But you got there in the end?
I certainly did. After a lifetime of being fascinated by Egypt, I eventually got to go there and see for real all these things I'd read about in books.
I'd love to go to Egypt.
Then why don't we? On our armchair adventure.
We can't do that. This is your adventure, not mine.
Don't be daft. I'd love to go back to Egypt. But further back than I went in real life, back in time. To see the pyramids being built and meet the mighty Pharoahs.
Oh, that sounds incredible. I bet the whole gang would love that. Let's get all my customers on a group telephone chat, because with an armchair adventurers, we can go anywhere we like from the comfort of where we are right now. So they're perfect for everyone, no matter what age you are. Start call now.
Hiya.
All right, Connie, love.
Hiya, Connie, love.
Hiya, Connie.
Hi there.
Hello everyone, how are you all doing?
Wonderful.
On top of the world.
Can't wait for the adventure.
Oh, I'm really
Oh,
excited.
feeling right grand.
Are we off on an adventure now then, Connie?
We certainly are, and Jan's had a great idea. How do you all fancy an adventure to ancient Egypt?
Sounds brilliant.
Dream come true.
I went to Egypt on holiday once. I rode a camel. It was a lot higher than I expected.
I'm going to bring myself a bucket and spade. After all, there'll be more sand than at the beach.
Ancient Egypt, what an adventure.
When I was at junior school, we went to Manchester Museum and Tutankhamun was there. I've always wanted to know more about the land of the pharaohs.
What about you, adventurers? What would you like to see on our ancient Egyptian adventure?
I love learning about Egypt in our history lessons. The Great Pyramid. I can't wait to explore. I like to learn how to read hieroglyphics. Then me and my friend could send each other secret messages. I dressed up as a mummy last Halloween, so now I would like to meet one for real.
Connie, I've had an idea. My friend Campbell from Manchester Museum is an Egyptologist.
Oh, I remember Campbell from our Digging into the Past adventure.
He told us all about how archaeologists look for clues to understand how people used to live.
That's right. I remember Campbell.
Why don't we invite him to come with us? He can be our expert guide to ancient Egypt.
That's a fantastic idea. I'm sure we'll have loads of questions.
Yeah, like, do ancient Egyptian daddies get jealous when the mummies get all the attention?
And how did brave ancient Egyptians write?
I know that one with hieroglyphics.
Come on then, everyone. A journey of the imagination, here we come.
Welcome to Egypt, everyone. Campbell, thanks for coming with us.
Thanks for having me. As an Egyptologist, I spend my time examining artefacts and investigating all about ancient Egyptian culture, but it's pretty special to actually be here.
Thousands of years back in time.
Phew, feel the heat of the sun.
It's a good job I packed my Factor 50 sun cream.
And my sunglasses.
The sun is so bright, it makes everything shimmer and glow.
Sand, as far as you can see.
It's dazzling.
Listen, can you hear the sound of pickaxes? People hard at work building the pyramids.
Yes, the pyramids, look.
They are magnificent, reaching to the sky.
I can see the River Nile too. I quite fancy a boat cruise.
Only if there are no crocodiles.
I don't like crocodiles. There's so much to see and do. Where shall we go first?
That's up to Jan. This is her adventure.
Well, what I'd really like to do is to introduce you to my favourite pharaoh.
Tutankhamun?
No, not Tutankhamun. Seeing Tutankhamun's tomb was one of the most special experiences of my life, but it's not him I want to meet. In fact, the pharaoh I'd love to spend time with was actually a woman.
Cleopatra then?
Nope, not Cleopatra.
So Cleopatra was a very important Egyptian ruler, but she was actually a queen and not a pharaoh.
Who then, Jan? Yes, who?
Hatshepsut.
Bless you.
No, I'm not sneezing. That was her name.
Can you tell us it again, Jan?
Hatshepsut. She was a pharaoh way back in 1479 BCE.
Now that is a long time ago.
Before Cleopatra.
Oh yes, way before Cleopatra.
I don't think I've ever heard of what was her name again?
Hatshepsut.
It is a bit of a mouthful.
We need to try and think of a way to remember it.
I know, why don't we make up a rhyme? That always helps me remember things.
Good idea.
That is a good idea. How could it go?
Hatshepsut, Hatshepsut, into a pyramid she was put.
Actually, Hatshepsut built herself a magnificent temple and not a pyramid.
Even better.
Hatshepsut, Hatshepsut, into a temple she was put. A pyramid did not make the cut.
Fantastic! Let's try our rhyme one more time, and this time, adventurers, why don't you say it with us?
Hatshepsut, Hatshepsut, into a temple she was put. A pyramid did not make the cut.
We'll definitely remember Hatshepsut's name now.
So why do you like Hatshepsut so much, Jan?
That's a good question. Hatshepsut reigned for 25 years and she achieved some incredible things in that time. She built magnificent structures that have stood for thousands of years. When I visited Egypt, I went to a temple and it blew my mind.
She also led successful trade missions, bringing gold, ebony and incense. Her reign was a time of peace and prosperity.
She proved that women could rule.
That's right. Hatshepsut was usually drawn as a man, complete with a beard. But she sometimes added references to being a woman to the artwork, like an inscription reading, Daughter of Re.
She must have been very proud of who she was. That's part of why I'd like to meet her. A proud, confident woman from history.
She sounds legendary.
I'd love to ask her all about what it was like to be a pharaoh.
If it's Hatshepsut you want to meet, I think we're in luck. See that city on the banks of the river? That looks like Thebes to me. Home to some of the greatest monuments of the ancient world. Built to honour the living, the dead and the divine.
I went there during my once-in-a-lifetime trip to Egypt.
I'm so glad you got to go on that once-in-a-lifetime trip, Jan.
That was a big sigh. Everything okay, Connie?
Connie's a bit sad because she's missing out on a very special school trip to Paris.
FOMO. That's a terrible feeling.
Sorry, I didn't mean to bring the tone down. It's not that I'm not having a good time. Seeing Hatshepsut will cheer me up, I'm sure. She doesn't sound like the type of woman who'd tolerate moping around. Come on, everyone, let's explore Thebes.
I wasn't expecting such a busy, bustling city.
Look at the incredible architecture.
Surely we'll find Hatshepsut in one of these incredible buildings.
How will we get in there?
Pauline packed buckets and spades, remember?
Great thinking. Let's tunnel our way in.
Ready, adventurers? Grab your buckets and spades and let's dig.
This is hard work. It's tiring, digging in the heat, making our own secret tunnels. I got sand in my eyes and it's gone in my shoes.
We're in! Now to find Hatshepsut.
I think I can see her.
Shouldn't we bow as a mark of respect?
Adventurers, bow down before the mighty Pharaoh.
I can't believe we're meeting a real Pharaoh. I'm bowing so low, my nose is touching the floor. Hello, Your Majesty.
Hatshepsut, please. We know you're very busy and important, but we wanted to say hello.
Everyone says that. But it isn't how I feel. In fact, inside, I don't feel powerful or important at all.
You're the Pharaoh, aren't you?
It's just a job title. Nobody's interested in me. Not really.
You can't really believe that.
I'm a nobody. Destined to be forgotten.
Jan, are you sure this is the skillful leader you described? She seems a bit fed up.
Hatshepsut, we've come all this way because I wanted to say how much I admire you.
You must be the only one. I work so hard and nobody appreciates it. Nobody notices.
That's not true.
I'm thinking of quitting. Throwing the towel in.
You can't do that.
I can't right now. That pesky advisor of mine is away on a trade mission. But as soon as he comes back, I'm telling him, that's it. I've had enough.
Pharaohs don't quit.
When I quit, I won't be a pharaoh anymore, so I can do what I like. Not that anybody will notice. No one will remember I ever existed.
That really isn't true.
I don't want to talk about it anymore. Oh, I need to lie down. Exhausting work being underappreciated.
But...
You heard me? Out.
This is terrible.
We can't let Hatshepsut quit.
Without her 25-year rule, the whole course of history could be different.
We need to prove to Hatshepsut that she isn't forgotten at all, that her legacy lives on, and that even if she wasn't fully appreciated in her own time, she will be eventually.
That's a great idea. She needs to know that her efforts are remembered and celebrated.
But how are we going to persuade her of that?
Adventurers, we need to think of a plan. While we're having a good hard think, let's pause our journey of the imagination to hear from another podcast I think you'd like.
If you're a fan of monstrous creatures, magical genies, tales of witches, mischievous goblins, listen to By Kids for Kids Storytime. We bring fairy tales, folk tales, myths and legends to life with performances by kids from all around the world.
Massachusetts,
Germany,
Iceland, India, New Mexico,
and more. Just search for By Kids for Kids Storytime wherever you get your podcasts.
So, has anyone thought of a plan?
Yes, I've got an idea. You know that expression, the sands of time?
Oh, I love that expression.
It makes me think of a giant sand timer.
Well, what are we surrounded by?
Sand.
Exactly, so all we need is a bit of armchair adventure magic and we can travel through the sands of time.
That's brilliant. We can time travel forwards back to the future to prove to Hatshepsut that her legacy is not forgotten.
Great thinking.
I love a time-travelling adventure.
Everyone grab a handful of sand.
Feel it slipping through your fingers.
Now, add a bit of imagination.
And blow!
It's working!
I can feel myself swirling and whirling through time.
You too, adventurers! What does it feel like to fly through the sands of time?
It's It's like a sandstorm swirling around me. I can see history whirling past. It feels like flying. It's like everything's speeding up.
Wait a minute. We're slowing down. We're coming to a stop.
Where are we?
Is this the future?
Are we back in our own time?
I can still see the pyramids.
Still feel the heat of the sun.
Can't hear any traffic.
We're definitely not back in our own time.
I don't think we've travelled far enough forward.
We're still in ancient Egypt.
The ancient Egyptian civilization lasted a very, very long time. 3,000 years. We could have travelled forward centuries and still be in ancient Egyptian times.
Listen. Are those pyramid builders still at work?
That doesn't sound like something being built.
It sounds like something being torn down.
Let's follow the sound and see if we can work out where we are and what's happening.
Is that a statue of Hatshepsut?
She's got a beard, Campbell. Like you said she often did in statues.
She looks magnificent.
Well, she would. But look, they're tearing her statue down.
Why would they do that?
Stop! What are you doing? Stop!
I've read about this. Lots and lots of statues of Hatshepsut were destroyed or defaced.
That's right, and for years historians have debated why. Were they attacked out of anger? Was it malicious? Or was it in keeping with some kind of tradition?
Look, that's all very interesting, but the question is, how can we stop it? Because right now it looks like every single one of Hatshepsut's statues is about to be destroyed.
We can't let that happen.
If they're all destroyed, no one will ever know Hatshepsut even existed.
What can we do?
We need to make sure at least some of Hatshepsut's statues survive so that future generations can learn about her.
But how?
We need a distraction.
Listen, the rhythm of their chiselling and tools sounds almost like music.
You're right, it does.
Quite a funky beat, actually.
That's given me an idea. What about a good old sing and dance to distract them from their work?
I've been practicing my belly dancing. This is the perfect time to show it off.
It's working.
Can you help us, adventurers? Use your show-stopping dance moves to create a diversion.
I'm gonna do the griddy. I like to break dance. My knee slides always get people staring. When I dance, everybody wants to join in.
The rest of us need to be quick. While they're distracted by the dancing, we need to hide the statues.
Start a conga, Cyril. Lead them away from the statues.
We only need to save a few statues.
Enough for archaeologists and Egyptologists to piece together Hatshepsut's story.
Enough for her to be remembered.
These statues are heavy.
Come on, everybody. Heave!
Push! We can do it. It's no good.
It won't budge.
The ancient Egyptians were master builders, right?
That's right. They moved massive stone blocks to the height of the pyramids along ramps, greased by water or wet clay, using ropes, rollers and levers.
Well, maybe we should do the same.
Great thinking, but we need to be quick.
Can you help us, adventurers? How can we move the stone statues of Hatshepsut to a safer place?
I'm using a lever, just like the pyramid builders. I'm hauling it with this massive load. What clay will be easy to slide the statues along?
There! We've done it!
Yes! Good! Thanks for all your hard work, adventurers.
I just hope we've done enough for Hatshepsut to be remembered.
Me too.
I don't think telling Hatshepsut that all of her statues were very nearly destroyed is going to convince her that she shouldn't quit as pharaoh.
She'd probably be devastated if she knew about the statues being defaced.
So, we still need something to prove to Hatshepsut that her legacy matters.
We need to travel forward through the sands of time again.
But will we be able to do it in time before Hatshepsut's advisor comes back and she quits?
Find out in the next episode and see where our adventure takes us next.